Well, hello there. This is a really different video or type of video for me. I don't even know how this is going to go, but if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, my name is Chloe, and I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm a daughter of Christ, first and foremost, and I just came to tell my testimony by the title. If you're not already subscribed, by the title that might have brought you in on how I got here to LA. And just, I'm actually speaking from my little cozy corner. I think I want to do stuff like this where I'm just kind of like in a chill, you know, pajama set, just talking to you guys. Maybe you can bring out your coffee, you can be in your pajamas, and we can just kind of catch up. It's the end of the day, it's the weekend. Whenever you're watching this, it's the weekend for me. But I just wanted to share my testimony with you, and I hope that the sound is good. I hope that you can hear me okay. Yeah, I'm excited. So I hope you guys can hear me. But I'm going to be looking down at my notebook so I can remember a little bit of what is going on. But it is currently, what month are we in? February of 2026. And my journey to get to LA began in July of 2023. Really August of 2023, but I want to start with July of 2023 just to give you some context. So like I said, I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I have a business, or I had a business, I should say, called Free Vibe Entertainment. We're kind of going through some rebranding, but that was my grassroots label that I released my music through. All that stuff is on my channel, so you can check that out. But just to give some context of what was going on in my life before the whole LA thing came up, which was really a God thing because I never wanted to move out of Texas. I'm from Dallas, Texas originally. I have put out a live visual album called New Growth that's available on the channel and all streaming. But that was a really big undertaking. I quit my job in 2022 working in IT in the sales sector and went after doing this album from end of 2022 up through July of 2023 when we finally put it out. I used my savings. The last of my savings, I was living with my parents, and yeah, that was a journey in itself. And I can talk about that if you guys want to hear about that too, how that came about. But I put out the New Growth album. I remember I had a listening party, everything. That was, like I said, a really big endeavor for me. In August of 2023, by that time, honestly, I was kind of settled into what I was doing. I was fine. But I would say that's where my curiosity was piqued. And I'm just looking down at my notes just to kind of let you know what was going on in August. So, a friend of mine was moving to California, a friend that I went to college with, who's also an artist in the creative space. She was moving to LA. And I also had a friend, we were talking, was a mutual friend of ours. We were talking and he was like, what if you, because I had a trip planned, I had a trip planned to come to LA as well, like in September, around my birthday's in September, at the end of September. I was going to be coming to LA to see another friend. So just to let you know, I had a friend from Texas that was moving to LA. I have a friend that is my childhood friend that lives in LA that I was going to go visit in September. And so I'm on the phone with a different friend, and he's like, you're about to go out there. Our friend, I won't say her name, but she's moving to LA, and you're about to go visit LA. And he was like, what if you end up telling me that you're going to move there? And I remember I shut it down immediately. I was like, I will never move to LA. If anything, I'll move to New York. Because as a kid, I always was like, I love New York. I want to move to New York. I just love it. I feel like it goes with my personality. That's where I wanted to live. I had never even visited California, let alone LA. So I was just like, absolutely not. I'm just going to see what's up. I like to travel. I wanted to just see what was up. And one of my best friends was there. So I wanted to go visit. He had been asking me to come visit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just do that. So that is August of 2023. So one random night, I remember I was exhausted, and my brother's girlfriend, who has a very strong prophetic gift, she calls me in the middle of the night. I'm literally settling down in my bed, lights off, about to turn that phone off. And she calls me and she's like, hey, we're on the prayer line right now. Can you get on and pray? I feel like you need to get on and pray. And I remember I kind of was like, child, pray. I'm about to go to sleep. I don't want to pray about anything right now. Flesh. But anyway, so she was like, "Can you get on this call and pray?" Me and one of her friends who I didn't know at the time was on the call, and I was like, "Okay, girl." And in my mind, in my flesh, I was like, "I'm gonna get on this call, say this prayer, and say amen, and go to bed." So I got on the call, I prayed, and after I got done praying, she was like, my brother's girlfriend who has the gift was like, and I just speak prophetically over you. I see you moving to Los Angeles. And I was like, girl, what? And I'm just listening. I didn't say a mum word. I didn't say a word. I'm listening to her, and she's saying this, and the other young lady on the phone who I didn't know at the time is echoing the sentiments like, and I'm just like, she has a prophetic gift too. And I was like, huh? And I wasn't too familiar with the prophetic at the time to and so I just wrote it down in my notes, and then I remember being like, okay, and I got some more information from her what like she thought she was seeing in the spirit, and I was like, okay. I wrote it down, and I was like, well, I'm about to go to bed. Like, this is a lot of information right now. Like, let me just take my hips to bed. So I go to bed after I wrote it down, prayed a little bit about it. You know how you kind of just pray like in passing, because like I don't know. I think for me sometimes something is like so big. I'm just like, Lord, I don't even know what to say right now. You know what I'm saying? So I prayed, went to bed, and then the next day or like that next week was the party for my friend going away. And I had almost like forgot about that too in a way. And I was just like, oh, this is interesting, like how these things kind of lined up so close. But I was like, no big deal, whatever the case may be. Went to the party, had a good time. Nothing out of the ordinary happened. And that was August of 2023 when the prophetic word happened, all those different things, blase blase. I would say from August to September is when I started to like the end of August through September was when I really, right before I was about to go to LA at the end of September, I was like, Lord, okay, what is this about? Like, what's going on? And then I get a random to me email. And like I said, I'm a singer and songwriter, and I had just put out an album, so I had a lot of content out at the time. And this organization reaches out to me basically and is like, hey, we're trying to put on shows in Los Angeles, and we were wondering if you would want to do that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because mind you, I'm in the midst of praying about this thing, asking God, like, is this where I'm supposed to move? And so when I got that, I was like, this might be a sign. And I remember calling my friend who I was going to go visit at the end of September, and he had already known I kind of was thinking about this. And I was just like, bro, like, it is crazy. And he was like, yeah, maybe it's a sign. I was like, you know what, maybe it is. So like, it was fueling my faith, a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign. Needless to say, that opportunity fell through. It didn't work. But I still believe that God allowed that to happen to ignite my faith and see it as a possibility to show me I can put eyes on you. I can open up doors for you in this space if this is where I'm calling you to be. Because in my mind, I was like, well, if he's moving me there, it must be for music because I make music. And I also was like really actively doing that at the time. Like I said, I just put out an album. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. And honestly, in retrospect, and I kind of always felt this in my spirit. I'm like, you're moving me out there for music, but I think that there's more. And even when she was speaking prophetically over me, I won't share all the details, but she was just saying more things in addition to just the music. So yeah. And I think that's the thing too, just to say, like, when God is doing something in your life, or he's speaking something over your life, or telling you that you're going to be doing something, it's always more to the story. Because his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are higher than ours, right? And even when we prophesy, we only prophesy in part. So, just a tidbit there. So, I'm just like, okay, that was weird. It didn't work out, but I still, like I said, my faith was ignited. I remember, telling some people that I trusted a little bit more that I was thinking about it. I was telling there was a church that I went to back home that I was really close to. I still love them to this day. And I was serving at that church, and I was close to my first lady and my pastor. So sometimes I would just go up there and just be chilling with them. I just wanted to know things, to talk to them. And I remember telling her about that, and she was just like, even though the opportunity didn't work out, it could be a sign. And I was like, okay, You know what I'm saying? Like, so sought some wise counsel on that. And then I remember when it was getting close for me to go visit Los Angeles, I remember feeling like scared because I was like, wait a minute, Lord, I feel like you're telling me I'm supposed to go here. I started to believe it more. Like, I feel like you're telling me I'm supposed to be moving to this place. But it's like, what if I go visit for the first time and I realize I hate it? I don't know why I started to think like that, but like I just started to think like that, and I was just like upset. Like sometimes I would cry over it. So I was like, what if I don't like it? And at the time, I was working at like this restaurant serving at this Mexican restaurant in my neighborhood, and I remember I was cleaning silverware at the end of the night. We were done. We were about to close up, and you know, you like if you worked at a restaurant, you clean silverware and you like roll the silverware up. So I was doing that, and while I'm doing that, I'm praying in my head. I'm thinking about my life currently and my circumstances, my finances. I'm working at a restaurant. I've never been to this place, and it's just like I started to overwhelm me a bit. And I had told my boss, my supervisor, and some people at my job that I was gonna go visit LA soon, so I was gonna take off. And I remember in the middle of me praying, I'm praying like, Lord, what if I don't like this place? I need a sign. Is this really what you're saying? In the middle of me praying, in my head, my manager who speaks English, but it's not like super duper clear, right? I mean, it's clear enough for you to have a conversation with him, but like sometimes he doesn't know how to say certain words. Like he'll literally be like, I don't know the word for it, you know? So he comes up and interrupts me. I'm thinking he's about to tell me something I need to do on the job or something. And I'm irritated because I'm like, you interrupted my prayer. So he's like, Chloe. And I'm like, huh? And he says, I just want to, he's trying to get the words out. He's like, I don't know how to say it. But he was like, I just want to let you know, I can't wait to say congratulations because you're moving to LA. He's like, I know you're about to go visit, but I'm just thinking I can't wait to say congratulations because you're moving to LA. Y'all, when this happened, I was like, because mind you, he interrupted my prayer praying about the very thing and comes up and this man don't even speak great English. I said, oh, okay. So that really ignited my faith and turned me up. So I was just like, all right, yeah, we in there.